Hello, I'm Hallie with Handmade by Hallie. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to show you how to make two centers to go in a Unique in the Creek wreath board, kind of like this wreath on the wall behind me. The materials we're going to use, I'll show you below. So, what we are going to start with are these foam discs that you get at the Dollar Tree. You get two for the $1 or $1.25. You will also need some pipe cleaners, a pair of scissors, maybe some wire cutters, and then glue gun and glue sticks. And if you have it on hand, it might be good to use some E6000 as well. So let's get started. So I've taken my centers apart, and I've also measured and put a pipe cleaner through the center. All I did was put this on top of my Unique in the Creek board and take my small needle nose pliers and punch holes straight through where I want to put my pipe cleaners through. There's a couple different ways you can do this. You can do the two holes in the center, or you can do two pipe cleaners on either, would be about either side of this. So I have done that. And I have also covered my styrofoam with some white felt. And I did that by just cutting a circle and cutting some strips of felt, kind of like this, and just hot gluing those in place. So I've done that to both of my centers. Let me show you the jewelry that I've chosen. Today, we're going to make a yellow and black center, and I have prepared my beads, and all I pretty much did was cut off any clasps from the ends. You do have to be careful when you're doing that. Sometimes when you clip off these ends, that little nub there is what holds the bead in place, and if you clip some of these off, then the beads will just totally come unstrung. But never fear, if you do that while you're prepping your beads, you can just use your glue gun to put some glue on the end there and get that to stay in place. All right, so let's see if I can remember what my plan was. I think we were going to do this around the outside like this. So that means we're going to cut here. Now remember, I said this will start to come apart, but that's okay. We can always put that bead back. Come here, little bead. I don't know that we'll need that little itty bitty one, but I think we do need this one. I'm just going to string this back on here. Like that. I do have a little bit of this clasp to cut off. All right, so we're gonna glue in place like this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lift up and start to put a dab of glue underneath each bead here. I don't want a whole lot of extra glue showing. You want to keep this nice and neat. then I believe I was going to put one in the center, which is approximately there, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. And I chose to go backwards because I want to fill it. Do a little bit of glue right here. Start this right here. So you will want to stay tuned to see where I use these centers for, or what I use them for. They will go in a project. Almost there. Maybe we'll do these last two beads here. And I'm going to glue these down before I cut. We will wait just a bit here. Okay. Now this guy should fit in here pretty well. Oh no, I might need to take that one off. That's better. Okay. All right. We have the top done, but we also need to do the side. So I think I decided we're going to run this yellow strand at the top and this strand underneath. So we'll get that going. Do several spots here. Sit for just a minute. There. Okay. We'll let it stand up on its side here for a moment while that spot cures, and we'll get this going underneath here. But what I might do is come along in a couple spots and add some additional glue. The small beads aren't touching, just where the bigger ones are. So I'm just adding some more glue behind those spots to help secure it. And we're gonna come here, here, here. Same thing. All of these beads are the same size, so these will sit in there just fine. Okay. That was a good catch. And I'm just going to try and get that right in the glue, right where I want it, before I let go. Okay. Now what we can do is we will do the same thing. I'm just going to run a bead of glue right underneath here. This will be the underneath side. Now, anything that we have already done with the hot glue, we could do about 50-50 of the hot glue and the E6000. I haven't had any problems with the beads coming off the hot glue yet. All right. So this is what we have. This is our center with the yellow and the black. And I don't think I'm going to come back and put any of the other beads in any of the other places. I think I like it just the way it is. It's simple. And I like it. All right. You can also come back with a hairdryer to get any glue strands off. Here is project number 2. Again, I have prepped my round and put felt on it. You could use any color felt that you want. Okay, so we are going to do this one backwards. I'm going to do the sides first because we're going to do this with the multi-strand. And that's going to go on the side, and then this one is going to go on top, and these dangly ones will go on the side over the top. So let's do that. And this one will glue a little bit differently. We're going to do some stripes going up and down. Let's try not to glue our fingers. We're just going to line these up nice and straight like that. this one doesn't want to cooperate. So we'll fix that carefully. And just do a bead of glue right here on top. Okay. Okay. Now that we have that done, we will go to the top. All right, the way this is going to work, these are going to sit right on top like this, and these ones on the side I'm going to let dangle. And so I am going to go ahead and do some E6000, but I see I left one of these loops on the side here. We don't need this. These loops are pretty easy to open. And reuse if you're going to use it. Okay. E6000 is what's considered to be a cold glue, meaning you don't heat it up. And E6000 does take 24 hours to set. When I use it, I tend to like to use it in a situation like this, where I'm going to use both hot. So that's a good start. Then we're going to come back with, or come in with this one, and we're going to go in here, probably a double, about like that, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put the center in. I'm going to go ahead and put both E6000 and hot glue. Some E6000 on the rim and hot glue in the center. That right there. All right. Let's start here. I might, from our other project, we have these big black beads that So here we have our two centers that we've completed with our costume jewelry with minimal supplies. We do have a few beads left. I might save some of these and maybe these You saw, we took these big ones and put them on this project, and they seem to go pretty well. Don't know that I'll save any of the rest of these. Don't think that's necessary.